Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Inspired by Msamberred. Here with Sasha today.
Hey.
Hello.
What are we talking about today?
Well, this morning I had to wake up hella early.
Oh, yay.
I had to be at the studio.
Yay. Your favorite?
I had a tattoo at 9 a.m. Anyways, she was the most adorable, sweet little lady in the whole wide world. She was 80 years old.
Oh, I wish I could have met her.
You know what? It was so sad because her brows were purple. And I didn't realize that she was colorblind and she did not know that her brows are purple. So when I said they were purple, she was like, wait, I have purple eyebrows? She goes, she goes, I told my sister, and my sister kind of mentioned it, but she thought I knew. And I was like, oh man. Yeah. So it was awesome to be able to fix her purple eyebrows. But yeah, so mature skin, we want to talk a little bit about that.
All right. Let's get into it.
I want Sasha to ask me questions because Sasha doesn't really know much about mature skin. So let's see what she comes up with over there.
Okay. So, what's your very first thing that when you see someone with mature skin, and they want to get their eyebrows done, what are you considering at? What are you looking for? Okay.
Generally not hair strokes and not microblading, only because they're a little bit more harsh to the skin. They can cause them to, mature skin in general can cause pigment to ash out or even heal darker. So you have to be mindful of that. And those two implant so concentratedly, is that a word? Yeah. Anyways, so concentratedly, I think I just made that up.
Sounds good to me.
I know, me too. So concentrated that they're going to retain all that pigment more than likely. So you have to be very careful. So I always dilute pigment down a little bit to give them a soft powder brow result. Okay.
What about with eyeliner?
Eyeliner? Nah. Their skin can be, that doesn't mean they can have eyeliner. Yeah. But their skin can, they're going to take the pigment, but their skin can be a little bit thinner. So I stick more away from carbons because they move a little bit easier in the skin, meaning that they can migrate a little bit more in the skin. So I stick more to the iron oxide blacks versus
my question.
or even we have one that's like a 50% black, 50% brown that gives a little bit softer heel. But something not carbon based.
If they have the room to get a wing, would you do it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they got
so that doesn't stop, mature skin doesn't stop it from the style?
No, not in my opinion. If you're 80-year-old and if you're 80s and you want to rock a wing, why not? Yeah. If they got room for it, they got room for it. So well. Back to my cute little old lady. Do you want to hear more about her?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, what should I tell you about her?
I wish I got pics. I want to see her.
Oh, okay. So her brows are purple. Okay. Like violet-y. Yeah, no, they were purple. And at first I couldn't tell if they were purple or if they were pink. But then when I got her in the light, I stretched the skin and the pink went away. So I believe the pink was from previous work that maybe faded out. And she had them redone and maybe they didn't cover that shape completely. So the pink when I stretched the skin went away. So that was not pigment in the skin. So good to know. So if you guys don't know, stretch the skin if you're seeing pink. It might not be pigment. It might just be healing skin. Or it could be previous tattoo that caused the skin some damage that maybe it just didn't heal yet. Or, it could be a lot of things. So stretched it. It was definitely violet. So we did our first pass with non-violet. That's the name of the color. And then I did a slight second pass, but it really wasn't that saturated. So it was just a quick, fluffy pass of yellow. So non-violet is yellow. Yellow neutralizes purple. Then I did that. And then she actually brought her pencil with her. So it was like a blonde, soft brown. So then I layered a beautiful blonde with a drop of classic. And I gave her a dark blonde. They look really freaking good. But mature skin can, I was kind of explaining to her, because one looked a little bit thicker than the other one. And her previous shape, I probably wouldn't have 100% designed them that way, but they weren't bad, at all. So I definitely could rework them. And
you want to change it because that means lightning next, right? If she wanted to change it,
or maybe she could have went a little thicker if it was that off. Sometimes, sometimes you don't always have to lighten. Sometimes you can fit the old shape into the new shape. Yeah. But yeah, her one side got a ring of red, and then even the red started spreading a little bit outside. It's totally normal for more mature skin.
Like redness, irritation almost
like broken capillaries, almost like borderline bruise, kind of You know how I get like your skin gets like red little dots sometimes? That's what it kind of did, just a little, barely, like, but enough to make it look like the arch on that one side was a little bit higher. So I just had to be mindful not to like chase after that redness, because you could easily mistake that for the color on the brow. So you really got to kind of like focus and be like, yo, I'm not going outside the line, like we're good here. So
that'd have been interesting to see.
Yeah, she was super sweet. Oh my gosh, she's a perfectest little old lady.
So did she love them after that?
Oh, she loved them. She's like, I'm gonna send my sister, I'm gonna send my, and then so then that gave me an idea to do like a senior discount type thing. I was like, we're really gonna work on something like that, because I think that would be really cool. They're working with, like in her case, she's taking care of her husband. Her husband's not in the best health.
Yeah, and then also too, like, they got their permanent makeup done when things weren't the same as they are now,
Well, so that's what she's like, they're fading out in a year. And I was like, your brows are fading out in a year. I'm like, these are going to last like 2 to 3 at least. I bet those brows I just gave her are going to last about 5 years.
Yeah.
But she's like, this feels different than what the last lady did. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, of course. And I said to her, I bet it does. I was like, because I'm using a machine. And so this was me. I was like, does it feel like this? And I started like tapping her skin. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, they used a hand tool. I was like, they probably used a hand tool that you can do shading with a hand tool and like tap it in.
That's old school. Right?
It's a little bit older school, but she said the lady was a little bit older that did her brows. So, and there's like soft tap out there, and a lot of people still do it. It's still like a known technique, but so then I was like, it's because I'm using a machine. The machine's doing the work for me. I'm like, so the needle's putting the pigment in and out of the skin versus me having to do it manually.
Yeah.
And she was just like, oh. And I was like, I'm using a large. So I started talking to her. She goes, okay, I don't know. I don't know about any of that, but I'm in your hands.
Aww,
and I was like, oh,
so sweet.
She literally, I could have done anything. She'd have been happy.
Yeah, I'm sure. How long did she have those brows previously before she came to you?
I didn't ask her, actually. No, I didn't ask her. And you guys, I forgot my before photos.
I know.
And then I'm tattooing, and she's like, you forgot before photos. And I was like,
she mentioned it.
Yeah. She mentioned it. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right.
Aww.
And I'm like, because I know it's going to work. I know they're not going to be purple anymore. And she's going to be so darn happy. And then I don't have any before photos. So
do you have her coming back for Elixir?
I don't.
Oh.
Sasha, I was by myself. I was rocking it. I was trying to figure out this day.
I know. Well, I was going to say maybe we could throw some photos in by the time this episode comes out of her healed.
Yeah, of her healed, what they look like now. I think it's going to be really pretty. And this is not to talk bad about anybody that has gray eyebrows, like that they want gray tattooed in, because some more mature women want that taupe or that soft gray, and I have beautiful colors for that. But I just love, she had snow white hair, and I just loved that she wanted still like a blonde or brown-ish eyebrow.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it just fit her so well. Like, I felt like if she would have had the more taupe or the lighter grays, there's one called Pecan. It's beautiful. It has a little bit of a tinge of brown in it, but I feel like if she would have went that route, it would have made her look washed out.
The contrast was nice between like the brows and her hair.
The contrast was amazing. She looked 10 years younger, like with those brows. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Dang, I really wish I could have met her.
She was really, really a special one. She's like, I'm so happy I ended up on your schedule. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, well, maybe if she recommends people, we'll get her back. So
yeah,
we'll
I think she'll end up coming in with her sister, because I gave them a couple of our little, those little the $25 things. Yeah. I gave them a couple of those.
She'll be back then.
Yeah, they'll be back. Yeah. She's like, she's just waiting to see how mine turn out. She goes, I just told my sister I knew I could trust you from the moment I walked in here. It's so super clean. I was like, oh.
I love that. How did she find you? Did you ask her? What?
Ask how you want to know how she found me.
What?
The cutest little lady. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is amazing, because I didn't even know this was a thing. I don't know if they have an Alexa in here, but she was like, Alexa, tell me the closest tattoo shop that does permanent makeup. It said, Miss Msamberred, here is the address. Here is the phone number. She showed me the little sticky note that she wrote down all my information on as Alexa was telling her.
What? I didn't even know you can do that.
I didn't even know Alexa knew that I existed, but that's really freaking cool. Yeah. So I don't know if that's pulling. I'm going to do more research on that, because I'm very curious.
For sure.
Because obviously I've been doing the more Google ad stuff, so I'm wondering if maybe it pulled from the Google ads.
I was thinking, because I mean, if
is
you ask
Google
Siri,
and Alexa, see Siri. Yeah. Isn't that the Google one?
Yeah, I mean, she pulls from Google, so I would assume Alexa would too, right?
I don't know.
Cool. That's a new one.
Yeah, I had never heard that before.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, and then she had another story, actually. Okay, so no, she heard about me twice. So that was her second story. I almost forgot about this first story. She said that she said, I was at the massage parlor. She gets a massage once a month. I said, I need to learn a few things from this lady. So she gets a massage once a month. She's at the front desk. And she wasn't at the front desk. Somebody was at the front desk, and she was sitting in the waiting room.
Okay.
And there was a lady, which I love her to pieces. The woman doesn't know this lady, but she overheard somebody at the counter was like, hey, are your brows tattooed? Like, I guess she was giving her a head massage, like in the massage room.
Yeah.
And the woman, her name's Marina, hey.
Oh, you know her.
Yeah, I know her. So, well, kind of. It's like Victor's boss's wife. Like, it's like a work thing.
Oh, okay.
But so she was like, I was being nosy. I was sitting on the couch and I heard them talk about eyebrows, and hers looked really good. So I asked her if she'd mind if give me that information. She goes, and then I asked Alexa a place to recommend, and then your name came up again. So I just knew I had to come here.
Oh, so it was a sign.
Yeah. She was just meant to be in my chair this morning at 9 a.m.
I love that. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
So exciting.
Word of mouth.
So yeah, word of mouth. Thank you, Alexa. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah.
Back to the mature stuff, the tattooing stuff. What about lips? I wanted to ask you about lips.
Oh, lips can be tricky. It makes a huge difference because generally, as we age, we lose the volume in our lips, right? Mm-hmm. So you start to get like the little lines, whether you're a smoker or not, like you just start to like deflate. It sounds so sad, but it's so true. I know. Oh, deflate or inflate other places. Just kidding. But so it really helps. There's no problem with tattooing mature lips. The only struggle I could see somebody saying is, I mean, the skin is thinner, like, yes, but that's whatever, that's lip tissue anyways. But they get those little lines, so it can be a little more tricky to design a good design. So definitely look at it like when they're relaxed and when they're smiling, and look at it in many different views and very many different reactions. Like I even do that with eyebrows, like, all right, smile, frown, happy, like just to check to see like how things are moving around. Maybe I'm the weirdo that's doing that, but I'm like, all right, make faces at me. So
no, it's good, because I mean, if you do this and your face sits a certain way, like it's good to know how they like talk in the their daily lives.
Yeah, and then you could draw something when they're relaxed, and then when they're walking around and they smile, it could look completely wonky. So maybe try to find something in the middle to fit them better.
I mean, not even mature people, like even when anyone's getting their brows tattooed and someone's like this, we're always like, hey,
relax. Yeah,
let's see your real shape.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
so any other tips and tricks?
Maybe let's see. Do I have like top 3? Let me see. I'm going with this top 3, top 5 thing lately.
We gotta do another webinar for this, because I feel like people really enjoyed the mature webinar.
Okay,
that we did.
I am working on that, like a full-on either mature brow, or either like that powder brow version, or like a correction, like a correction eyebrow. I think that's definitely something that's coming in the future.
Yeah. So this is a plug. Go to our website, fill out a form, get on an email list, so then you know when that's happening.
Yeah. So that's definitely happening. But top 3 things on working with mature skin, I'd probably say lighten your pressure. Always start at a lower speed. Because the higher your speed, the more times per second the needle's coming in and out of the skin, the more damage it's going to cause to the skin. And if you know the skin is already thinner, just start off softer and lighter and slower, and you can always adjust accordingly. Second, always take into consider, I always assume that they're going to ash out the pigment or retain the pigment like crazy. But again, it kind of comes down to techniques. I'm using circles, which are color packing movements, that is giving a more striking result. Obviously, I have control over that. I can give somebody a soft powder brow too, but I have to be extra mindful not to pack in too much color, because on the flip side of that, their skin's already going to do that. And then third, something I see online all the time, and I think I'll end with this, is that needle selection is... Everybody always like uses single needles, and I personally do not like them for mature skin. They're way too sharp. And that's just my personal opinion. I think a large shader is where it's at. So I use a standard 7 or 8 round shader, depending on if I'm using cartridge or needle on the bar. But the way the shaders go into the skin, they go in and they like implant, and then they spread. They don't go in like this, like a single needle goes in and it just in, and it's like very harsh.
Almost like poking, right?
Yeah. Like slices easier. So like shaders go in and they spread immediately. They spread and they spread the pigment, and it's softer. It leaves a softer result as long as you're in control of it. Obviously anything can cause damage. So yeah, just being open, I guess, to what needle may be best for that skin type. But I've been doing this a long time, so I feel like I'm so in control of that 8-round shader. I can put it on any skin type, anything, get any kind of result with it. So just be mindful that it does implant a lot more pigment, so take in consideration that skin that you're working on. So as long as you know how to adjust, you can work with anything and
so the
make
goal
it
is
work.
to do the least damage and same results.
Yes, because if you do too much damage, it's going to ash out the pigment as well.
Yeah.
So
you got another problem on
you
hands.
got a whole other problem, or you could go too deep, or that's with any needle and any technique. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for this quick episode on mature skin, and we will see you guys next time. And don't forget to
like, share, subscribe, comment, all of it. Follow us. Things. Yeah. Join our email list. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.